Guys, we have finally waited for it. A new star is rising in the heavyweight division. He claims that he smashed and knocked out Usyk, finished off Joyce and Joshua, beat Dubois twice, and this is just the beginning. In addition, he is sure that the strong and top guys are simply avoiding him. He is ranked first by the WBA and plans to make a lot of noise in the royal weight class in the near future. Meet the Congolese Martin Bakole, who has settled in the UK. Is that he says true? In this video, I will sort this out. Be sure to watch until the end. It will be very interesting. So in the heavyweight division of boxing, a clear pool of contenders has recently formed from those who can count on titles. It includes Tyson, Fury, Alexander Usyk and Anthony Joshua. Until recently, there was also Deontay Wilder, who now needs to think about whether it is worth continuing his career, and there are a number of boxers who are now a step below. Joseph Parker, Jean Gillet, Daniel Dubois, Philip Hrgovic, who recently lost his clean record. Jared Anderson is grown up before our eyes, and there is a big Congolese guy, Martin Bakole, who is trying to break into this company, trying to make such a noise as he can, and on the 3rd of August he will get a chance to shine for the general public. He is scheduled to fight Jared Anderson. 24-year-old Anderson has no defeats in the professional ring and is already considered one of the next generation of world heavyweight champions. 31-year-old Bakole has won 20 victories, 15 of them by knockout, and suffered 1 defeat. Thus, he's the most serious opponent in the career of the young American. Event organizer Eddie Hearn doubts that Anderson has found the right opponent, but admits that he is looking forward to the fight with great impatience. It is dangerous matchmaking and brilliant, by the way, Hearn said. I don't picture Martin Bakole or Jared Anderson, so as a fan I really like it. It's one of the fights on the card that I can't wait for. I think it's even. Have you watched Martin Bakole's fight or even heard such a fighter? How do you like him as a boxer? Please write your knockout comment. It will be very interesting for me and others to read. Thank you. Martin Bakole has huge ambitions and he just needs to prove them. So far, Bakole has only won fights for minor belts and he has fought mainly in the UK, where he lives and trains. Accordingly, a fight in Los Angeles with a promising prospect could help Martin soar to the top of the contenders and get closer to the opportunity to fight for titles. Among the relatively well-known fighters, Bakole has faced Olympic champion Tony Yoka, former world champion contenders Carlos Takam, Sergey Kuzmin, and Kevin Johnson, who it seems any more or less promising boxer living in Britain should be able to fight off. Martin is also known as the fighter who accidentally swallowed a wasp in a fight with Takam. Brr. Overall, Bakole doesn't have the most impressive opposition, but there have been many cases where a talented boxer has built a solid record against lesser-known fighters and then done well at the top level. And overall, this is normal practice. You can find fault with the opposition of absolutely any boxer if you want, and Bakole is sure that the champions just don't want to fight him and avoid him in every possible way. And in particular, Anthony Joshua and Daniel Dubois. I didn't just spar with them, I smashed them. I simply destroyed them in the gym. That's the reason why they don't want to fight me. Joshua vs Dubois is a good fight, 50-50 in my opinion. They are strong and can box, although neither of them has their boxing brain of Martin Bakole. Good luck to both of them, but I would smash both of them, Martin said. Bakole is not all modest, and in the current era, this is probably right. He remains on everyone's lips, becoming more recognizable. There is also a side effect. They will remember absolutely every word he said if Martin fails to cope with someone he smeared in sparring. And the Congolese is aiming not only at Dubois. I do not lie. I do not like to lie. I always tell the truth. I was live on Sky Sports and Usyk's manager came up to me and said, "This guy will become world champion tomorrow." So why do you think he said that? Because he was there and he saw it all. He knows who I am. He saw the beating I gave Usyk. Alexander never even hit me. I smashed him and knocked him out with a body punch after I left the ring. They told me that Usyk would need at least a week to recover. Don't believe me? No problem. Ask Joshua about me. Ask Dubois. Ask Usyk. Ask Fury. They all keep quiet. None of them will say they beat me up in sparring because I gave them all a good beating. I stopped Dubois twice. I stopped Joyce and Joshua. Did you know Frank Warren offered me a fight with Joyce? But then my trainer came back and said, "It's not going to happen." Joyce turned it down. I wasn't surprised at all. He knew I would finish him in the first round. He was lucky to choose exhibition fight with Chisora. I respect Derek, but I think he is too old. All that's left of him is his name. Do you believe Martin's loud words? I think he is being a bit disingenuous. Please write your comment. It will be very interesting for me and others to read. Of course, in the world of professional martial arts, they don't like those guys who talk publicly about what happens during sparring. Perhaps Bakole really did knock out all the top fighters during training, but it's not very nice to talk about it. Nevertheless, Martin considers it a forced measure. I'm often told to keep quiet about sparring, but you should understand that I'm a guy from Africa. I need to somehow make a name for myself in order to gain recognition, to fill arenas and sell tickets to my fights. That's exactly why I sparred with all the top fighters, because after I gave them a beating, people started talking about me. They started recognizing me. Of course, there is a downside. After all, now, no one wants to fight me. Everyone has seen and knows now how dangerous I am. Guys, also, I made a selection of other cool videos about boxing, especially for you. The links will be in the description. Please go to follow them and watch. There's a lot of interesting stuff there. Whether this guy is telling the truth or not, only he knows. But on the 3rd of August, Bakole will face a really strong opponent, and he will have to back up his words with actions. Otherwise, there is a risk of becoming a laughing stock in the eyes of the fans. And Martin himself raised the stakes so high. On the other hand, a confident victory over Anderson could light up a new big star in the heavyweight division, and increased competition is always good. So it is worth keeping an eye on how good Bakole is. Stay safe, stay tuned. I didn't just spar, I smashed him a bit. Disingenuous. Who talk